Did you know that there's one fish swimming in cold northern waters that contains more omega-3 in a single serving than most people get in an entire month? I'm talking about a whopping 3,000 milligrams of pure, bioavailable omega-3 fatty acids in just one fish. And here's the kicker, this isn't some exotic species that costs a fortune or requires special ordering. You might have walked past it at your local grocery store dozens of times without realizing you were looking at nature's most powerful anti-inflammatory medicine. Stay with me because by the end of this video, you'll discover not only which fish this is, but exactly how to prepare it to maximize those precious omega-3s that can literally transform your heart health, brain function, joint comfort, and even your skin's appearance in ways that will surprise you. Hey there, beautiful soul. If we haven't met yet, I'm here to share science-backed natural health solutions specifically for women like us who want to age gracefully, feel energetic, and prevent the health challenges that seem to sneak up after 40. Make sure to hit that subscribe button right now because I share practical, research-based strategies twice a week that help you take control of your health naturally, without depending on expensive medications or complicated protocols that don't fit into real life. Now, let me ask you something. Have you been taking those little omega-3 capsules from the pharmacy, maybe 1 or 2 a day, thinking you're doing everything right for your heart and brain health? Most of us have been there. We dutifully swallow those gel caps, often spending $30, $40, even $50 a month, believing we're getting adequate omega-3 protection. But here's what the supplement companies don't want you to know. The average omega-3 capsule contains maybe 300 to 500 milligrams of actual EPA and DHA, the active forms your body desperately needs. So even if you're taking 2 capsules daily, you're getting maybe 1,000 milligrams maximum. Meanwhile, leading researchers are now saying we need between 2,000 to 4,000 milligrams daily for real therapeutic benefits, especially as we get older and our bodies become less efficient at utilizing these crucial fats. This is why I got so excited when my friend Sarah, who's a marine biologist, told me about her discovery during a research expedition in Alaska. She was studying the traditional diet of indigenous communities who have remarkably low rates of heart disease, arthritis, and cognitive decline, even into their 80s and 90s. What she found was that their primary protein source, consumed almost daily, delivered more omega-3 in one meal than most Americans get in a month. And this isn't just any omega-3. This is the most bioavailable, perfectly balanced form that your body can immediately put to work. The fish I'm talking about is fresh mackerel, specifically Atlantic or Pacific mackerel caught in cold waters. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Mackerel? Isn't that too fishy? Isn't it hard to find? Doesn't it contain too much mercury? These are exactly the questions I had, and I'm going to address every single one because the truth is, once you understand how to select and prepare mackerel properly, it becomes not just palatable, but absolutely delicious. And the health benefits? They're nothing short of remarkable. Let me paint you a picture of what 3,000 milligrams of omega-3 can do for your body. Imagine waking up with joints that move smoothly, without that morning stiffness that's been creeping up on you. Picture your skin looking more radiant and feeling more supple, because omega-3s are like internal moisturizer for every cell in your body. Think about your brain feeling sharper, your memory more reliable, and your mood more stable throughout the day. This isn't wishful thinking. This is what happens when your body gets adequate omega-3 fatty acids, particularly EPA and DHA, which are the active forms that directly support cellular health. But here's where it gets really interesting. Dr. William Harris, one of the world's leading omega-3 researchers, has spent decades studying what he calls the omega-3 index. This is a blood test that measures how much omega-3 is actually incorporated into your red blood cell membranes. What he's found is that most Americans have an omega-3 index between 4 and 6%, which puts them at high risk for heart disease, cognitive decline, and chronic inflammation. But populations that consume fatty fish regularly, like those Sarah studied in Alaska, often have omega-3 indexes of 10 to 12%, which correlates with dramatically lower rates of age-related diseases. Now, here's the practical part that you came here for. How do you get this powerhouse fish into your life without breaking the bank or spending hours in the kitchen? First, let's talk about selection. When you're at the grocery store or fish market, look for mackerel that smells like the ocean, not fishy. The flesh should be firm and the eyes should be clear. If you're concerned about sustainability, look for Atlantic mackerel or Pacific chub mackerel, both of which are considered excellent choices by marine conservation organizations. And here's a secret that changed everything for me. The freshness of your mackerel determines not just the taste, but the actual omega-3 content. Fish that's been sitting around for days starts to develop that strong, unpleasant smell because the delicate omega-3 fats are beginning to oxidize. Fresh mackerel, on the other hand, has a clean, mild ocean scent and a firm texture that takes on flavors beautifully. Let me share the preparation method that even convinced my friend Jennifer, who swore she hated all fish, to become a mackerel convert. She's a busy mom of 3, works full-time, and like many of us, doesn't have hours to spend on elaborate cooking. This method takes 15 minutes from start to finish and creates a meal that's so delicious, your family won't believe they're eating something this healthy. Start by patting your mackerel fillets completely dry with paper towels. This is crucial because moisture is the enemy of good searing. Season both sides generously with sea salt and black pepper, then let them sit at room temperature for about 10 minutes. Meanwhile, heat a cast iron or stainless steel pan over medium-high heat with a tablespoon of avocado oil or olive oil. When the oil shimmers but doesn't smoke, place your fillets skin side down and don't touch them for 4 minutes. This creates a beautiful, crispy skin that seals in all those precious omega-3s. After 4 minutes, flip the fillets and cook for another 2 to 3 minutes, depending on thickness. The flesh should flake easily but still be slightly translucent in the center. And here's where the magic happens. While the fish is cooking, quickly whisk together lemon juice, minced garlic, fresh herbs like parsley or dill, and a pinch of red pepper flakes. The moment you remove the fish from heat, drizzle this bright, fresh mixture over the top. But there's something even more important than cooking technique, and this is where most people go wrong with omega-3 rich fish. How you store and handle mackerel before cooking determines whether you're getting those full 3,000 milligrams of omega-3 or whether oxidation has already begun breaking down these delicate fats. Always buy mackerel the day you plan to cook it, or at most, the day before. Store it on ice in your refrigerator, and never, ever freeze it if you can avoid it, because freezing breaks down the cellular structure and can reduce omega-3 content by up to 30%. Now, let's address the mercury concern because this stops a lot of women from eating fish regularly. The wonderful news is that mackerel, particularly the varieties I mentioned, are actually on the low mercury list. Unlike large predatory fish that accumulate mercury over many years, mackerel are smaller, shorter-lived fish that feed primarily on plankton and small organisms. The FDA and EPA both classify mackerel as safe for regular consumption, even for pregnant women, when limited to 2 to 3 servings per week. And here's something fascinating that Dr. Mark Hyman, a functional medicine physician, pointed out in his research. The selenium naturally present in fish like mackerel actually binds to mercury, making it less available for absorption by your body. So not only is mackerel low in mercury to begin with, but nature has provided a built-in protection mechanism. It's like the ocean knew exactly what it was doing when it created this nutritional powerhouse. But what if you're still not convinced about the taste? Let me tell you about Maria, a 52-year-old teacher from Miami who came to one of my workshops absolutely convinced she couldn't eat fish. She'd been taking omega-3 supplements for years but wasn't seeing the joint pain relief she'd hoped for. Her doctor had mentioned that her inflammatory markers were still elevated despite the supplements. I convinced her to try my Mediterranean-style mackerel recipe, where the fish is marinated in lemon, olive oil, oregano, and garlic before grilling. 3 months later, Maria sent me a message that brought tears to my eyes. Her joint pain had decreased significantly, her energy levels were the highest they'd been in years, and her doctor was amazed at the improvement in her inflammatory markers. But what surprised her most was how much she actually enjoyed the taste. She said it was nothing like the fishy experience she'd expected. The key, she realized, was in the freshness and the simple, clean preparation that enhanced rather than masked the natural flavors. This brings me to an important point about bioavailability. Your body absorbs omega-3s from whole fish far more efficiently than from processed supplements. When you eat fresh mackerel, you're getting the omega-3s in their natural matrix, surrounded by complementary nutrients like vitamin D, selenium, and high-quality protein that enhance absorption. Compare this to isolated omega-3 oils in capsules, which often require additional digestive support to be properly utilized. Dr. Artemis Simopoulos, who has been studying omega-3s for over 4 decades, explains that the human body evolved to get these essential fats from whole foods, not isolated supplements. When you consume mackerel, your digestive system recognizes and processes these nutrients as nature intended, leading to better incorporation into cell membranes where omega-3s do their most important work. And here's something particularly important for women over 40. As our estrogen levels begin to change, our risk for heart disease increases dramatically. The protective effects of estrogen on our cardiovascular system start to diminish, making adequate omega-3 intake even more crucial. The EPA and DHA in mackerel support healthy blood pressure, improve the flexibility of blood vessels, and reduce the type of inflammation that contributes to plaque formation in arteries. But the benefits extend far beyond heart health. These same omega-3s cross the blood-brain barrier and become integral components of brain cell membranes. They support the production of neurotransmitters that regulate mood and cognitive function. Many women find that when they increase their omega-3 intake significantly, they experience better mental clarity, more stable moods, and improved sleep quality. Speaking of sleep, here's a connection that might surprise you. Research shows that people with higher omega-3 blood levels produce more melatonin naturally, leading to deeper, more restorative sleep. If you've been struggling with the sleep disruptions that often accompany midlife, incorporating omega-3 rich fish like mackerel into your regular routine might be a game changer. Now, I want to be realistic with you. I know that eating mackerel 2 to 3 times a week might seem challenging at first, especially if you're not used to preparing fish regularly. Start with once a week and gradually increase as you become more comfortable with the preparation. You can also alternate between fresh mackerel and other high omega-3 fish like wild salmon, sardines, or anchovies to keep things interesting while maintaining your omega-3 levels. And here's a practical tip for busy weeks. When you find fresh, high-quality mackerel, buy enough for 2 meals. Prepare both fillets using different flavor profiles and refrigerate one for the next day. Leftover mackerel makes an excellent addition to salads, pasta dishes, or grain bowls, giving you that omega-3 boost even when you don't have time to cook from scratch. If you're wondering about cost, here's the beautiful truth. Fresh mackerel typically costs less per serving than a high-quality omega-3 supplement, and you're getting dramatically more omega-3s along with complete protein and other essential nutrients. It's literally more bang for your buck, not to mention the satisfaction of eating real, whole food instead of processed supplements. Before we wrap up, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, because next week I'm sharing something that's going to blow your mind. I've discovered 5 specific supplements that can transform your health after 50, but here's the twist. These are supplements that pharmaceutical companies actually don't want you to know about because they're natural, affordable, and incredibly effective at preventing the health issues that usually lead to expensive prescription medications. The research on these 5 supplements is so compelling that several countries are actually considering making them part of their national health recommendations. But in the United States, this information is being quietly suppressed because it threatens the profits of several major drug companies. I've spent months compiling the science, interviewing leading researchers, and testing these protocols with women just like you, and the results have been absolutely remarkable. So make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on, because this upcoming video could literally save you thousands of dollars in medical costs while adding years of vitality to your life. The title is going to be Over 50? 5 supplements Big Pharma doesn't want you to use, and trust me, you won't want to miss this one. Until then, I challenge you to visit your local fish market or grocery store this week and pick up some fresh mackerel. Try the simple preparation method I shared, and pay attention to how your body feels over the following days. Many women notice increased energy and better joint comfort within just a few days of dramatically increasing their omega-3 intake. Remember, your health is your wealth, and small changes like incorporating omega-3 rich whole foods can create profound transformations in how you look, feel, and age. You deserve to feel vibrant, energetic, and confident in your body, and nature has provided incredible tools to help you achieve exactly that.